So I'm just waiting a few moments for everyone to get arrived, for we want to settle down in place and arriving in the space. Nicole, whenever you have a chance, will you turn on your camera? There you go.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
Nicole.
I invite everyone to take a deep breath and arrive into this space called the Word Talk. And I want to say that this is a space of discovery. I connected with Devin last week, a few weeks ago, actually, like 2 weeks ago, and actually it was a week ago,
Yeah.
and it's with this pain about uh, Devin. I want to do something about this thing that I've been journeying in the last 10 years about exiting modern culture, exiting my job, my corporate job. I wasn't really in a corporate job. It was more like a tech job. We're like in the entrepreneur kind of environment where there's lots of new ideas and people becoming millionaires from one day to another, and these like fancy office jobs and really well paid jobs. Lots of movement, international remote working people, and and yeah, 10 years ago, about 10 years ago, I left that environment, and from this thing that I knew before as like a life crisis, and it was this crumbling down of my world where I couldn't be participating in that space anymore. So I reached out to Devin because I knew Devin went through something like this, and I said, Devin, do you want to do a work talk with me? And he said yes. So here we are. And as I'm scanning each one of you, I see that you have, to some extent, gone through something like this, that you are going through something like this, or that you have gone in the past through something like this. And and yeah, like I'm excited to hear more about what you're gonna bring into this space, what your necessity is, what's happening for you. And this is a discovery space. At first, when I reached out to Devin, I thought it was like, oh, this is gonna be like a work talk about how to quit your 9 to 5. Like this is gonna be like how to quit your job. But then Devin presented this idea that was more like, what about a discovery space? Uh, and it's really a space of not putting the pressure on that you have to leave your job, that you're stuck, but it's more as a question for you of what what is what is missing in your life, what is this thing that you know that is possible, but that is not, it doesn't exist yet. What is that the thing that you want to create into the world? And so creating this is the word talk. And the reason, I mean, this is the word talk because a lot of this journey has been about my value, about like discovering what my value it really is. In modern culture, I believe that my value was, I'm a programmer, I know PHP and all of these different languages, computer languages, and I am very fast, and or I'm a good learner, and I had all of these ideas about what my value was. I'm nice, I am strong, I can take pressure, and and I knew there was something else that was more than that, and I nobody else was talking about it, and I was pissed off, and nobody was pissed off, and I was so intense about it, and nobody else was meeting that intensity. I was going crazy, and it reached this point where it was just too much, and just quit it. I just quit the job. I just quit everything, and I got rid of everything, and I went backpacking. And what I'm discovering now is that this has been a journey of expansion of who I am, what my value really is. I was connecting with the plants, with the trees and the earth, and the earth was telling me like reflecting back this value that humans bring to the earth in the form of stewarding, in the form of creating, being part of the ecosystem and creating different different ways of living, and none of this was reflected in modern culture, in the mainstream culture that I was part in. Um, so it's a word talk because it's about seeing what your value is beyond modern culture, beyond the culture where we all came from, where most of us came from, and seeing, okay, what is your value, and we're gonna do some practices here for s- speaking about your value and also being seen, like, because each one of you has a scanner. You can look at the people right now in the screen and take a moment. You can take a moment to be with them, and you already start picking up qualities of their being. And yeah, this is something I'm excited to go into and explore. Um, and yeah, Devin has been on, yeah, he's been on many trainings or working with people, and working really on dismantling this, like getting bigger and getting more skills with how humans can live together. How can we be in our potential? How can we uh, have these limitations, this limited way of being that we are in, and really step beyond that and like go beyond that. Uh,
Mm.
so, Devin, I'm really happy to have Devin here in the call with us, and I've so much appreciation for your writings and what you bring into the world, Devin, and I'd love to hear what you like to say. Anything that you want to add?
Yeah, thank you. I mean, I feel glad to be here, and I have no idea what we'll kind of open up and talk about on this call, but I feel glad to be here with other people who, for one reason or another, the topic of discovering non-material value is is important enough or present enough that you would show up on a call with maybe people you don't know to discuss it and discover it. And I mean, a lot of what Jorge says is very resonant for me in terms of my past life as I worked in whatever big tech in the Seattle area. And I think one of the things that from the moment I got my first job, one of the things that I noticed was something first inside me, which was I couldn't figure out a way. I could do my job, but I couldn't figure out a way to care about the work I was doing, other than that it was what I kind of knew was I need to do my job. I can do my job. I get quite a bit of money, and somehow that's how I'm living. But at a deep level, the product we were creating that supposedly was changing the world, at some deep level, I knew it's not real. What we're doing is not really changing the world. What we're doing is selling something, building something, and selling it to people to make the work that they do more efficient or more effective so that they can do more work. And I could feel that and see that
Mm,
and sense that. And at the same time, I felt there are things that I care about there, but I they're not what I get paid for at work, but they're the things that if I were not getting paid, I would be spending my life doing. And it took a while for me to find people kind of in the area I was living in who were investing all of their time into finding out what is a human's heart, what's inside a human's heart, and how do we hold space for a human's heart to come forward. What is a human soul, and how do we hold space for a person's soul to become bigger or more expressed in what they're doing on a daily basis. And I'm using those terms. I don't use them a lot because they're kind of loaded, but for me those were the questions that when I really looked at my life, the questions that kept me up at night were not how do I write better marketing materials so that this product sells more. The questions that really were inside me were about love, were about creation, and were about passion, and they were about what is it to be human. And so um I think what I those are the kind of questions I want to be with you all about today as well. Is beyond what you can do and beyond what you've been trained to do and beyond the possessions or knowledge that you have. What are you? What is the thing that you are? And as a group of people coming together for 90 minutes, how can we be with each other in a way that what we are um, maybe can come forward even more, can come out more, and can play. So this is what I bring to this space, and I would love to hear from each of you. I mean, some of you I know better than others, and some of you I don't know at all, but to hear what it is inside you that brings you to the space, sort of also from what Jorge and I have said so far, what's kind of what you're chewing on or what is alive for you, and to begin the conversation there. So I'd say anyone who's wants to go or feels inspired to just start speaking, you can take the mic.
And I want to add this one thing, that already, as Devin, as you're saying this thing, I'm feeling something by being here with you guys. My heart started to feel something, like I was feeling sadness that we're in a Zoom screen and not together in a in-person space. So your feelings have a information. So let your heart speak in this space about what is coming alive for you about this conversation. What are you here for? Go.
Thank you, Jorge.
I also feel the sadness that I feel sad about how much there is to it in a way, and how short a time we'll be together. When I hear both of you, Jorge and Devin, speak about how it went for you, I can't help but kind of have my mind go back to how it went for me, how it's been going for me, and I feel mad because I didn't have people around me who were also on the same adventure, and so it occurred more like I was a victim of circumstances and I was a victim of what I wanted. I wanted to do other work than the work I was doing, and I had this similar struggle that you described, Devin. Like, the only way for me to be okay in the work I was doing was by my own integrity, by my commitment to my own integrity, that I said I would do this job, and so I was going to do it well. And other than that, I was constantly experimenting to try to find ways to have fun doing the job, because the job itself seemed a complete, like, capitalistic fabrication by human beings who have no connection with the earth. And that, and something that has been what's up for me lately has a lot to do with handling the resentment that I've been carrying toward the culture I was born in, to human beings who, I encountered through my whole life, and to whom I feel resentment for because they didn't interact with me. They didn't provide me a world to live in that was the one I wanted, and that they provided this other world that was all about, pressuring myself to prove myself, to try to dredge up some kind of like agreement in myself that I would do one of the jobs off the menu that existed, when I had no interest in doing any of them. And so to be in this question of of like, what is my value? It like my answer for so long is my value is zero in this world, in the system of systems world. My value is zero, except as a woman who produces children to be slaves to the system.
Wow.
And as a woman who stands by a man who is a slave to the system. And that just put me at war with my own partner and my own children, and with myself. I almost pulled myself into an oncoming truck one day because the pain of the distortion in me trying to be what I thought the world wanted me to be got so great. And so I'm really seeping in this question of what I really want. Like, if this is the only life I get, I'm at least halfway through it, probably more. And what do I want so that I can, in a way, I guess, counterbalance the hell that I've put myself through by, enough about that. And what do I want? What do I want to create? What do I want to leave as a legacy? And for so long, my question had been like, how can I make the money I need to live, to feed myself, to house myself, to transport myself, to do the things I want to do? And more, I'm sinking into, what do I really want to do? And that this is where the rubber meets the road as to my value, and then how to offer that to the world and deliver it to the world in the way that the world is like, oh my God, yes. Or people in the world are like, I want that, and I'm willing to give you something that's valuable to me, whether it's money, whether it's time, whether it's collaboration, whether it's, lunch, or dibs on whatever extra stuff they have.
Yeah.
And it's such a long, slow process for me to unbecome a cog in the machine.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Nicole. It really resonates this part to me about the team, that you didn't have a team, and that you're working right now with the resentment that you created for the people that didn't show up, or the people that are not there. Yeah, that resonated. Yeah, and there's so much to it. Yeah, that was just one small piece of what you said, Nicole.
Yeah, I want to add that because I carried that resentment and all the emotional kind of complexities of that resentment, that it has made it really hard for me to work with people, even now that I have people who are kind of in parallel with me, going in this other direction, this direction of regenerative ways of living on planet Earth. Because I have been carrying those old resentments, they have been what's in my way, mostly because when I have teammates, and I also have the same expectations of my teammates that I had of the culture, to provide me this like ideal milieu in which I could unfold and thrive and blossom and bear fruit, that it's like that keeps coming back to haunt me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I want to share that.
Yeah, go, Ezekiel. I would like to hear from a few other, and then we'll go into an experiment room.
All right. So I was feeling this anger of the space of the slowness, and I notice a sense of urgency that I have in me. I'm in this situation where after they expand the box, I received some notice that with my tech work team that it's gonna be dissolved this month, and we'll dissolve it. It's not working, it's not going, the project is not going anywhere. So we're dissolving, and Okay, everyone scramble, whatever. And so it's like this sense coming back of, oh, I have to do something, money's gonna run out, something like that. And I don't want to go back to that. I tried to make those text-based work. Last time I went in with the hope that, oh, this is like an horizontal space. Maybe I could make a difference, create a collaboration, and this hierarchical structures, like they just, I get lost there, and it doesn't work for me. And I have this sense of urgency that if I don't change now, it's gonna be back to that again. And there's so many things that I want to be.
Yeah.
I want to create a land base for my son to grow up in, to have a children culture. I want to live.
So Ezequiel,
yeah, I don't want to go deeper into that right now.
cool. Yeah, that's super, because you're bringing in this. What I hear you say, that where you're at is that you're at the edge of, that you have already reached the edge and you have fallen and you have gone back and then you have fallen. And I'm talking about this edge of
Yeah.
of modern culture, this edge of go to work, make money, pay for money at the grocery store. So it's like where money is at the center, kind of culture.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's this culture that is also polluting the oceans, and that is cutting all the trees, not all the trees, but that is just clear cutting all growth trees, and exterminating ecosystems. And so you're at the edge of that, and you've fallen off of that, and you're now, it's like this team is dissolving, and this is like another fall. Like your team where you were at, you were getting money, you were getting paid, and now it's dissolving. Now it's like you're falling again out of the edge, and you're with this question, like, you have an urgency. What do I do now? Like, I need to change, or otherwise I'm gonna be going back again to the center
Yeah,
of the
it's
thing.
like this sense of opportunity, and
The
I'm trying different things, and
yeah,
I feel joy because I love, I've been scheduling myself with different space, holding emotional healing processes, scheduling more with people, and today I've already been in 3 different space, 4 with this one, and I want more. I want more of this. I want more of that. I want to keep going, and I have this fear that I'm like suspicious of this hope. I'll figure it out. Like I'm being in this loop of, I have to figure out money. Once I just figure out money, I will be able to commit to this or commit to that. So, there's like this opportunity, like, oh, there is like this a lab here, and there is like a workshop here, like, oh, but I cannot commit because I have to figure out money now because, well, I don't have a job, so I have to figure it out. And it's like this this bullshit, and I don't want that anymore.
Will, you're smiling. What do you have for Ezequiel?
It's kind of funny. I'll just take a couple of minutes here. So I was before when you sent me this invitation, Jorge, I I wondered, I don't know, I don't know if I would be in the right place for this conversation because I'm just such a whack job, and I've been through so much stuff.
Willie's
I
an
just think, yeah, I'm in the perfect place. I
yeah, go.
can't really, I don't have much agency anymore. I don't have, I'm probably the oldest. I'm going to be 70 in a couple of weeks. So, but my, I just identify with every single thing you guys are saying. But I've
Yes.
been through this for 20 years now because I was a, I was a little, white boy Christian privilege. I don't know, there are all sorts of things to describe me. I was raised in Arizona, and my parents were degreed. They were both degreed mathematicians from Ivy League uh, universities in the U.S. And so there was a certain tone in our house about education. And tragically, I dropped out of college for that. Tragically for them, not for me, but it was hard for me because I had to figure out what in the heck was going on. Anyway, I don't want to bore you with a bunch of stuff, but I had this dichotomy going that was very similar to what you guys are saying. I felt like I'm in a dying civilization, and so I bought a farm. I mean, I leveraged the farm, and I bought it. It was in North Georgia, and it was perfect. It was 7 acres. I had a stream and a spring, and several hundred fruit trees and all this stuff. And so I was just all ready for the apocalypse. I mean, not the apocalypse, but the collapse of civilization. And at the same time, I just I couldn't stand to be not doing something that was useful. And so I have a knack for electronics and mechanics. So I did factory automation. I don't have any certification or anything. I just solved people's problem and they paid me. But so I was thinking, oh, this is well, automation is going to help feed the world and give people the things they want. And then at some point, the wheels started to come off that understanding because I found out I was at a plant and this guy said that let me just show you some of these machines. That's a hydrogenation line right there. Oh, what's hydrogenation? And he goes, well, when you buy a candy bar, it's got oil in it. And if the oil isn't refrigerated, it goes rancid. So we hydrogenate it and then you can't smell it. And I said, so you mean it's still rancid, but I just can't smell it? And he goes, yeah, but it's okay. Oh, great. So instead of using my brains to help people, uh, I'm using my brains are being hijacked by people just to make money and tell people and convince them that eating shit is okay. And then the clown was I took this guy out to dinner. We had done a project for him to make this solid state iodine laser system. And I said, well, so what is this going to be used for? And it's obviously a very interesting, powerful system. And he goes, oh, they're going to put it in airplanes and use it to selectively kill people. So they can just go, it's a directed energy weapon. Like, that would have been nice to know before I started working on this project. And then I don't know, I moved to Costa Rica and started a company there and just gave up after a while. No reason. And then I was convinced after a while that what I needed to focus on was more basic structure. And so I was interested in forming community. And we bought a friend of mine and I bought 100 hectares, a square kilometer of land in Nicaragua. And the idea, we started building these dome houses. You could live there for nothing. Our goal was to provide space for people who wanted to write or program, so they had peace and quiet, and they could live all expenses in for $300 a month.
Right.
And we got
Yeah.
that was such a great dream. And I was doing research on community, and I found eco villages like the one that I really liked was Tamara in Portugal, and because they had the social part figured out, that the root reason of war is sort of this coalitional reproductive strategy of men that sort of separates men and women, and what needed to happen was better communication. So they have this thing they do every Friday called SD Forum.
The forum.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Self-giving play. Are you guys familiar with them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Tamara. Yeah. I think few people here know about Tamara. And this is why I
So,
invited you here, Will. This is like all of these things, like, yeah, because you have this experience of being in an edge work and that like falling out of the edge and over, and like now you're 70 and you're a
there's this
wealth of
problem.
resources. So
You still have to make a living, and then your problem, you're like everything. We just lost everything. We just left 100 100 hectares of land in
yeah.
Nicaragua with a few little uh, houses dotted around these little domes that of course look really odd in Nicaragua, but they're earthquake proof, and there's a volcano smoking in the background, so it is kind of picturesque in a way. But anyway, at the same time, it just seemed like everything I touched was getting messed up, and I got into Anastasia, the kin domains in Russia, and I bought a bunch of those sets and gave them all away, and now I wish I'd kept at least one because they're like $100 a book now, and they used to be $100 a set. So I've just been through all this frustrating stuff, but at the same time, I was getting sort of attacked by Kundalini energy. And so I've been dealing with that for 20 years. And it just, I can send anybody, I can just post it, I guess, if you want to read what I did. I just found that it was kind of like I turned into a valve. I thought of myself because I was using all these fancy sounds and frequencies and waveforms to drive valves to make them do weird things. And I thought, this is happening in my body now. So I started doing that with different frequencies. And one day I just had the description on the web. It says it's like a 10,000 volt orgasm that just shakes you, and you're lying there, and I hadn't read anything about that. So I've been dealing with that for 20 years, and I just built a bunkie outside where I have my sound, and it makes me it cleans you out. It's very powerful. It's not, you don't listen to it with your ears, you listen to it with your body, and it's tuned into the Schumann resonance, the Earth's frequency. So my scale is Pythagorean, and it sort of jars you. I mean, it makes you vibrate, and you can get out of your body and some other weird things with it. But like this yesterday, because it was Easter, I had kind of a long time to be by myself. So I took a 2.5 hour sound bath. And this morning when I woke up, I got up and I was going to make coffee, but I couldn't do it. I felt just something was wrong. And I just started shaking, sweat out of every single pore of my body. It just comes like that. And it happens occasionally. And I just figure it's some kind of purging, cleaning. So I have all these really weird things going on with me, and it's led me to this study of resurrection, which the definition I use is the
Will,
into.
yeah. I wanna pause you for a moment. Just it sounds like so for everybody, Will just created a Substack. He started creating writing in Substack. So I'll send you to Will, so because he could talk about this for hours and hours, and I want to make sure that we have time. It's so amazing, man. This is like I love what you're researching, and Will started making videos, and he started posting on Substack. So I will share it in the email like your Substack, so the people here they can stay. If you find it interesting, and that you can like follow Will's job. It's amazing. Like you're playing with sound and vibration, and yeah, like even like alien forces and stuff like that, and it's fascinating. So I just want to make sure that everyone has time. Yeah, and I'll leave you time to kind of like close it up. I just want to have time because I want to go into like experiments for
Yeah.
practicing
And I want
something.
to hear from Douglas, you as well, if you
Yeah.
want to say
Yes.
something.
I
Yes.
just
Thank
want to
you.
say one. Let me just finish up with this
Yeah.
one last
Go, Will.
thing is that so that's been my answer is that, and I just came up with this year since things have just gotten so weird, is that instead of looking at this as something that's really human, I'm looking at this as a metamorphosis of the planet. And so humans are going through an initiation ceremony, basically, and the way that I look at this initiation is that the psychopaths and the what's the other one, the narcissists can't get through an initiation alive. Well, none of us really get through alive, but we don't get through with our consciousness. So the way that I could summarize what we're all faced with is dying consciously.
Mhm.
And that is a completely different topic from just dying. And my wife and I are talking about this now all the time. This is our goal now.
Yeah.
We're dying consciously and talking about it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Thank you. I like that. Douglas.
So, hello. Yeah. So I think I'm feeling similar in a lot of ways. I'm
And
coming.
Douglas,
Yes.
yeah, will you bring us like 2 or 3 minutes of your sharing of like, yeah, like tell us where you are, what brings you here, yeah, in this way that we can all be with you. What is just your biggest necessity about this space?
Mm.
Um, well, I'll just give a super brief history here. I'm coming from sort of a different direction, but feeling the same way. I was in conventional house building and ski patrolling in the winter to make a living. And the main thing is just having not feeling like I was really contributing to the highest good and serving my soul's purpose. Um, so now I've had an opportunity that came to me a couple of years ago. I'm regenerating some acreage and I intend to create a food forest and a conscious community. Um, Mostly alone at this time, though, and
Yay.
I'm here to because this opportunity to connect and communicate. Um, my
Where is
net,
it located?
oh, I'm in Birkin. It's an hour north of Whistler, BC.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
Canada. Awesome.
Yeah, so my necessity is to connect and to even though I can work in a team well in team play, I tend to be a lone wolf. So to like exercise communication and connection skills.
Super. Super.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Yeah, and thank you for coming here, for bringing your that necessity of communicating and being in a team. Um, okay, so I wanted, Devin, you have something?
No, I propose we go in the direction you're going in and shift.
Okay, right on. So I have an experiment, a practice that I want us to practice that to start seeing, getting these wheels going about speaking about your value, being your values, seeing, and this is specifically about, well, it's like shifting from that modern culture value, this idea of like, what is your value to what are you, what is it that you really value? What do you care about? Um, and shifting into that. So we're gonna go into breakout rooms and we're gonna take turns to say what your value is. So we're gonna go is two parts. There's going to be someone who's going to be speaking. And the person that's speaking is going to be, you're going to be sharing your non-material value. Like, this is what I care about. This is what's valuable in my life. And this is what I love. This is what I appreciate, what fits me. Um,
And even what I, you might not know all this stuff about yourself, but what you get a sense of, even beyond what you can do. So there's like what you can do and what you know in terms of a contribution. We're talking about also what you are, like what qualities show up in a room just because you walk into it. And often these things are the things that are most invisible to us, actually. But this would be an opportunity for you to attempt to speak about that, to share about that unabashedly. So it's openly, without, I don't know, without humility, something like that. Like
yes.
to really allow your own confidence or your own dignity about who you are be present in your speaking.
And you might not know what it is yet. You might have never even said it out loud. So this is a space where you can like say it out loud. Even there's no right or wrong way of doing it. Just saying it and experiment with it and say what it's like to say it out loud.
Yeah.
And for the people on the other side listening, the people, the one who is listening, you're going to be scanning them and seeing, kind of like guiding them if there is a guidance, or just be in a space of listening. But if you see that they're doing something that to diminish themselves, or that they're being too humble, or they're being not real about what their value, you can give them feedback or ask them questions or something to deepen their awareness of their non-material value of what they're sharing.
Yeah.
And yeah, we'll be doing that for about 7 minutes. I think that'll be enough. Maybe Devin and I won't do it because we thought we
Yeah.
were gonna start this a lot earlier. So there'll be 7 minutes for each person, and then we switch to the next experiment. And the next experiment is about receiving you. Now the people that were listening, now they're gonna be speaking, and they're gonna be saying what they see the value in the other person. So the person that was speaking was saying, "This is my value. This is my non-material value." Then after, the next part will be the person that was listening is gonna say what the value is of that person. Like, just using your scanner, you can scan the qualities of that person, of that being in front of you, and say, you bring in these qualities to the space. These are the qualities that you bring to the space. This is your, this is what I see. And don't stop speaking. Just let it, even if you don't know exactly what it sounds like, you don't have to package it up. You start, I notice that, and then you let that unfold. You let that, like, really unfold. Don't stop to think about it, like how you can package it up, or like, what is this. You just say you notice something, and then start speaking from there. And we'll do that
Is
for
that
another
clear?
7 minutes.
Is that clear for everyone, or any questions about this? We can't hear you, Douglas.
Yes, that's clear to me.
And
Okay.
and then what we'll do is we'll switch to the next person. Then we'll switch to the next person will be speaking, and
And
saying.
so I'll keep time. You don't have to worry about that. I'll just send a message when one time is up, and that's the next time. The other thing is, at the like, one person says what their value is, the other two people then tell them what they also see. And I just propose one third part, which is you walk out with an experiment. So you have 2 minutes at the very end. That each person walks out with an experiment or a practice, how they could take some part of their, what we call non-material value, and bring it out more in their lives, or exercise it more in their lives. So it's like a first step walking out of this call of how you could open that more.
No,
Okay.
there is this. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Go.
I just
Let's
wanted,
do the breakout rooms.
okay. They should be opening now.
Right on. Okay, and we'll see you again back here in the room. You should get the prompt out of there.
Yeah.
See you soon. There we go. Will and Douglas. So
Okay.
who would like to go first?
I'm glad you're with you because I don't really know. I mean, I sort of have a new idea of my value because of this, but
So
what do you want to do?
will you go first? Then we're gonna take turns. So you go? It sounds like you're ready to go first.
Okay. Yeah. When I was listening to the everybody today, I was thinking, well, Will, you're an old man now. You've been. I don't have anything on my bucket list to do except what you and I are already working on, which is my being able to sing, and I'm really thrilled with that. I mean, I watch myself sing, and I've got a new friend, a new buddy I just talked to yesterday for the first time, and he lives in
Yeah.
he
It's the message said to speak to your value.
Okay,
Speak.
I just
Yeah.
wanted to
Speak.
say he's in Mallorca, and he just gets out there with his guitar and he starts singing about stuff, and it's been an inspiration. I want to be able to just stand up at my piano and start singing my heart out. So I'm really feeling good that I can my value to other people now is not to do anything except make them feel good. I
So
want them to
I'm hearing
when I
that
walk
one.
in,
Yeah, I'm
I want them
hearing
to
one of the values that is coming up about what you're sharing, Will, is improvisation. I don't know. There was this
improvisation.
part about improvisation. So you're valuing this
Yeah.
being able to stand anywhere and just provide value, like improvise with the resources and the energies that are there.
Yeah, so that's exciting to me. That's exciting.
Yeah.
So,
And it might be related to the experiment, to your experiment that we're gonna design for you.
okay.
Uh, uh, okay, will you keep sharing? Because I'll will you keep speaking about your non-material value, the things that you value
Well,
this.
I just think of, I heard at least twice and I also heard about it in a discussion with somebody yesterday that people who are tuned into this idea that we're in going through this time of metamorphosis, that the earth is changing and that we're called to adapt to that,
Mm-hmm.
then I think that it's hard for us. We want it to be all the new economy, and like I was in open source, which is you don't get paid for stuff. You just do it because you love to do it, but then you still have to pay your bills. So
Yeah.
that's a problem for everybody who sees the well, we say in the open source movement, this French guy says, I give, therefore I am. That's the change. It's from I'm thinking, therefore I am, to I give, therefore I am. I contribute, therefore I am. But you have to be in a community with others who are in that same mindset. So we're kind of in that in between time right now. So you do the best you can.
What do you want
That's
about
what I
this? What do you want about this,
huh?
Will? Like, what do you want about this? Like, it doesn't mean that you have to do anything about it, but like, it's like
No, I
what?
just have to be here and embody that philosophy and sing about it and talk about it but really I just don't know. I don't know what else to do anymore. I mean,
So I'm
I
hearing
had
that.
really,
Yeah, I mean, like, I just want to like go a little bit slower so you can like really get to explore this edge. I and I hear that one of your non-material values is creating music or being music.
yeah, it's being me.
And then the other part is, wait, I'm in a call right now, love. No, no, right now, please. My little guy. Anyways, the other part that I was seeing is the being, like embodying something that is at the edge, embodying something that embodying your music, but embodying your value, embodying this. You call it philosophy. I might call it something else. I don't know, like embodying a stand, like you're taking a stand for something.
Yeah, so I'll just show you where I'm going with this. There's a song that came out in 1970, and I was 15 years old, and it's called 1984, and it's by a band called Spirit. And the words are, "It's time you started thinking inside your head that you should stand up and fight." And that's what I used to be an embodiment of, that you had to be an individual who stood up for your individual rights, and you had to be able to survive no matter what. And so I spent a good deal of my life developing skills that would allow me to survive and provide for my family and do all these things. But what I'm going to do now with that song is I'm going to change the words to, "It's time you started thinking inside your head, I am a pillar of light." So the thing is that for the past 20 years, I've made that connection between Mother Earth and Father Sky, and about grounding the light, and about this basic idea of how the world actually works. So I'm going to sing about that. I'm going to change it from uh, something very aggressive to something that's full of love and light. And I know how to do all the other stuff. I mean, one of the last projects I did before I left the United States was a friend of mine and I built a biodiesel refinery, so we could take any kind of used oil, cooking oil, and turn it into biodiesel fuel. And we used junk. We used stuff from thrift stores and junk, because we thought, oh, this is really useful to be able to run off of French fry oil. And but I don't worry about that anymore. I still know how to do it, but I don't
Will
I don't worry about it the way I used to. I used to
will
worry about.
mm-hmm. And there might be a value there, a value there that, and it's related to my question that I have for you now. What about the quality of the space that you invoke? Will you speak about that? Like what what values do you invoke in a space? What do you bring to a space? What are your unique qualities? And it sounds like in the past you were invoking that worrying, and now,
Energy and information. I bring energy and information to a space, so of a certain kind.
what kind of energy? What
And
kind of information?
well, it's been in the past, it's been what's considered to be useful things, and now it's changing to things that make you feel,
Mm.
which is still useful, but it's in a different domain. I didn't think that was that important, and I don't know.
Cool. It might be, yeah, it might be cool to see what kind of information and energy you're bringing into a space.
Well, I
And
think just basic stuff. I have always worried about that. I mean, I've run my life around being able to survive when the shit hits the fan. So
Mhm.
yeah.
All righty. Thank you, Will.
Now we switch.
Yeah,
So are you going to talk?
now we switch, and Douglas and I are going to say what we appreciate about you, what qualities of your being we appreciate. And yeah, Douglas, you ready?
Yeah, yeah, I am.
Okay.
I appreciate the happiness that radiates from you, and the comfort with yourself.
Yes.
I yeah, not just happiness, but pure joy, really, and confidence.
Thank you.
I appreciate your willingness to share your wisdom and your happiness and joy.
Thank you.
Will, you are a wealth of wisdom, a wealth of just like energy. I don't even know what to call it, but just a wealth of a context that is not the mainstream culture, a wealth of edge work, something like that. And yeah, you're bringing it through your words, to your speaking. And yeah, what I can see is this wealth that you can speak this for hours. And it's about edge working. It's about the living at the edge and not being comfortable in the center of the box.
Thank you. That's true.
Yeah.
I don't like being comfortable. My dad wanted me to be an accountant or something. No, no, no.
And I run a yeah, like also amplify this thing that Douglas said about your joy, that you just yeah, you're bringing a lot of you bring joy into the space.
Thank you.
Yeah. Your creativity, there is a part of you that is so creative that is you can't help but create. You can't help but creation, even when you are uh, uh, like I don't know, like you can't help it. Like you're an inventor. You're like a natural inventor, and you have this quality of continuous invention and reinvention and recreation. And that is really such a powerful thing for a team. And it's scary. It's very scary for a team because people like we're like scared of change and fuck, what is Will gonna bring now? What is he gonna be talking about now? Well, and yeah, and you, I experience this quality in you of inventor and creator.
Thank you. Thank you for bringing it out, both of you.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, I experienced this part of you that is yeah, that it has a like a big longing for like a longing. But it almost like tips on the side of um it's like okay, I'm gonna speak about the longing. It's like a longing for people, for your being really with people where you are honored as an elder, where like the people that are there with you and being with you, like it doesn't matter what you have done, it doesn't matter what you are, what you have, how much money you have, or how much um inventions you have made, like that you are part of that tribe, part of that people. And I don't know, I'm sensing that yeah, that there is that is a quality of your being, that is something that you carry inside of you, and that has been driving your life and driving your actions, your research, your inventions, your creation.
yeah, yeah. It's really odd to be at this age. I'm 70 years old, and I know I got nothing left, but I'm still having fun, and I enjoy being around people, and I'm very optimistic about the future. I just think that it's everybody has a rough road, and it's probably more related. I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but in the past 15 years, both my wife and I have been through some kind of karmic roller coaster. And it's like some days we just sit there and look at each other and say, what next?
Yeah,
It's just, it's,
yeah, you
it's
have
heading, but we know it's going to be okay. But it's just like, I mean, when we got together, which is like 2007.
I want to say more appreciation, well, because this is your time to being appreciated, not your time to talk. So I appreciate this quality that you create transformation in a space. You're like a freaking train, just like whoa, boom. Like right now at your age, it's like you're ripe, and you know that there's no bullshit around, and that you have your qualities, like you know, like what Douglas was saying, that this confidence that emanates from you. And you're like I appreciating right now that that's something that you're using to transform the space. Like I can just see like blasting like through the normalcy, blasting through like there is like a wall of, okay, this is the wall of modern culture. You're like, boom, like you're like a train blasting to that with your joy, and with your wisdom. No, I'm not gonna use that word, but like something like with your knowledge, with your experience. Yeah, with
Well,
your
thank you.
experiments.
It's nice.
Yeah.
Feels good.
Yeah. Well, this is what this is like the beauty of this is like that I can keep speaking from this, and there is like it changes. Like tomorrow there might be something else, and the next year there might be something else, and this is really a quality, the quality that these spaces bring, that I mean that we are a team, that we can allow ourselves to be appreciated and appreciate others.
I appreciate your optimism, and your willingness to share that optimism.
Yeah, it comes from being beaten up a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
The way I explain it is that I used to go to the edge of the cliff and look over it and think about it and get all worked up about it, and then finally jump off. But I was all freaked out. And now I run off the cliff backwards. I don't care. It's going to be okay no matter what I do. And I know that sounds kind of silly. Honest to God, it really works as a bit now.
Yeah, you have this quality of, yeah, exactly, just jumping on off the cliff, and that you have done it many times, that you have done it. Okay, we gotta shifting to finding the experiment now. But yeah, I see that quality of you jumping off the cliff.
Okay, what's the
Yeah. Okay, I'll go first. The experiment I'm seeing is going improvising. Yeah, I don't know if you'll be calling a few people to play music at your place, and work on improvising. That'll be the basis of the music playing. And this is with music. But it might be also with you about talking. It's like, but you're too comfortable with talking, so it might be like a rhythmic, melodic talking, kind of like a, and then just like start letting your being unfolding in the music.
like improvised rap or something, like group rapping or something? What do you mean?
I would say it's something like you have your piano, and you start playing
Mhm.
playing the piano, and find a tune, and then you speaking start speaking while playing music. Yeah, I'll say like your voice will find the music, and they will play together.
Like a
I did
spoken
that with
word.
a huh?
And there is a little bit of a
Sorry,
lag in the connection.
what did you say, Douglas?
Oh, but
Did you
like a
say something worked?
yeah, a spoken word.
Spoken word. Okay.
Mhm. And I would say do this for 1 week at your house. Yeah, great. Write it down, please.
That's a good idea, actually. Spoken word jam. I like
Do
that
it
idea.
do it for 1 week at your house, 1 or 2 weeks, and then do it outside. Find somewhere where you can busk. Find other people who are busking, and do it
I'm not
outside.
doing.
Find an open mic. Open mic. You
I
say,
I had my busking license in Victoria for a while, and it was interesting, but I'm done. I'm too old to do that. It just I have to recover the next day. You have to realize.
mm,
I just want to read you this one thing. This is a book called Secrets of the Soil,
mhm,
and a lot of people don't like. I worked with some permaculture guys doing some videos, and they said a lot of people don't understand. They try to grow plants, and that's just the wrong attitude. What you need to do is develop the soil. You work
mhm,
on the soil, the plants grow themselves, the bugs leave. It's all that's the way you do it. You
Yes.
don't, the plants will grow. So this is the front of this book, and this quote bothered me for years. So long as one feeds on food from unhealthy soil, the spirit will lack the stamina to free itself from the prison of the body.
Yes.
So that's where I am. My spirit is trying to escape the prison, the prison of the body, and I vibrate, and I feel sick sometimes. I mean, it's just, I don't know how much longer I'm gonna last. Mantak Chia, one of the guys that I follow, says it. He says you don't know when you're pregnant, but you know you're pregnant, and it takes 23 years before the immortal fetus comes out. So that's another one of those little breadcrumbs for me. Well, I know I've been pregnant since 2003. That's when I noticed the energy. So it has to be between now and next year sometime that something's going to happen. So frankly, after listening to you guys talk, I just hope to be able to show you by what happens to me going to happen to you. And somebody in this group is also hot with this energy, because when all six of us were sitting there, I started vibrating. And that means that I can't tell who it is, but somebody's hot. And I know you have, okay, some of this energy, but it's just getting really hard. It's getting really hard for me to exist. So going out and bucking isn't going to happen.
Okay.
Sorry. I know I
Okay.
talked to him. Sorry, guys.
It might be something else. It might be like, yeah, like in the recordings that you're making, something like that, like improvising, having like a live, I don't know. Yeah, it will be something that fits you. It wouldn't be something that drains your energy, but something like, like just like, I love this, or even if it's like, like something very gentle. I don't know what it will look like.
Well, since you started getting me to emote while I was singing, I feel the energy in my body now, man. It's different.
Yeah.
And thank you for that. And you are going to talk to me at some point about my energy from doing those songs, because there's different energy. Like some of it's really exciting energy, and then some of it's intensity. It's like it's tension and intensity of tension. So that's what I really need a little feedback on that, because I mean to annoy people. I mean to cause them cognitive dissonance on some of this stuff. Hey, wait a minute, what is he talking about?
Yeah.
Actually
Cool.
talking
Cool.
about.
Yeah, let's talk about it. Let's switch now to Douglas. Uh, will you go, Douglas? Speaking about your
Yes,
value.
yes. I'm some of my values, or my value is are groundedness, earthiness, connection with earth, and connection with nature, as well as connection with spirit.
Yeah.
The love of food, the love and appreciation of food from healthy soil.
Yeah. Yes.
The ability, when I see blind spots, not to like when blind spots in myself come to light, to work with those. And
Will you say more about that? What blind
uh,
spots?
blind spots, like realizing when I closed my heart, and then thinking and knowing, to want to, and a desire to not have it closed at all, to want to live with an open heart, and seeing that it still closes, and and working towards having it always open. And to share of value and sharing joy and happiness.
Yes. Yeah, I sense that there is something more about this groundedness, this the nature. Like there is like a deep love for nature that is kind of you that that accurate. And we say what that is like and what do you value in nature.
Oh, you're asking me what that looks like and what I value in nature? Or
Yeah, like there is something like a deeper well there, like for you to where something that you can like just keep speaking about it and about your the value, the value that you
I,
bring.
the, I I appreciate
Yes.
the beauty that surrounds us and the life in the beings in a bee or the being of an ant, the being of a tree and flowers, especially in birds
Yes.
and clean water.
Right now, it sounds like you're making a list, and it sounds like you can like bring it like there and like be like show us like that you can speak from that place of your appreciation of that those things, and it unfolds into more than just saying a list, and more into like more like your joy of that, your ecstasy of how you value it.
I think it comes down to the love I feel when I'm in nature, the feeling of being held.
Yeah.
by nature. Wow, that's great.
And the feeling of releasing impurities in nature, like when the wind blows, or when you feel the bite of the coldness on you, or
Hmm.
the heat of the sun.
Mm.
And feel held and energized by nature, fed really in an energetic way.
Yeah. I suspect that this is really big for you. Like I don't know when I'm scanning, it's like your nature guy. Like there's so like you have stories, you have legends and things that happen for you uh in nature. And it's about being grounded. And the word that landed, and I guess we can switch already to to I'm gonna switch to saying what I see about you, Douglas. And yes, this part about when you said
Mhm.
the word beauty. That like when you said it like that I there is something about it that is so you. There is something about it that is so you about beauty and about it's like I don't know like appreciating the beauty of nature, the biodiversity, the different colors of greens, the even the air when the air is foggy and when the air is a clear day, the different blues, the different colors of blues and the different little from the tiny insects to the big birds that are flying right in front of them, and like how it's all interconnected. So I just like I'm scanning that you have a big matrix about it, that you have a big inner structure about this, about how to ground yourself, how to be with the land, how to allow yourself to be held by nature, by the ground, and that you can express this when you open your heart. You spoke about opening your heart.
Yeah, I got a something about when I was listening to you, I felt like your voice was carrying me and I was in a scene and my field of awareness expanded so that uh, I wasn't just seeing nature or hearing the sounds, but I could feel myself as a part of it in my entire body. So I wasn't just having a mental experience, but rather a full body sensual experience in my mind just from your voice. So that was really cool because not everybody can do that. Not everybody can bring that
Did
that
you
presence.
did you know that about yourself, Douglas, that you have that power, that you have
Um,
that skill?
no, no.
Awesome. That's big.
It
I
was like
mean, because I
I
experienced something like that too. What's that, Will?
I needed to close my eyes because it was like I was kind of getting pulled in. It was like
Mhm.
this was pleasurable to allow myself to be sucked into his world, to his reality, and I could experience it through your just your description of it. I like that. I think it's a very useful thing to be able to because I'm getting some kind of information from you. And for a guy like me who's spent most of the 50 years seated in front of a tube, a computer screen of one sort or another, it's really nice. And I do notice it with people who have spent a lot of time more outdoors that I get something from them. I get it, an experience.
Thank you.
Yeah, you have this quality, Douglas, of navigating the space in a way that is grounded. Yeah, speaking, you like noticing is about something that you are noticing that it might need a bit of practice to let it like more come out to the surface. But there is something about you that has this groundedness that can bring something like like stop kind of like the illusions and the like fluffy talk and get to like something solid like a rock. uh
Yeah.
and yeah, and this might come with a bit of more practice of your anger or more practice of your, yeah, your clarity. And also like speaking like this, speaking from the unknown, speaking even though you don't know what you're gonna say, and allowing your heart to say the next line, and allowing your heart to bring in that next piece. And I, yeah, I see that that's a major quality in you, that you have that experience of being in nature, like being with her.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Thank you. I appreciate your feedback.
Yeah, and this feedback is called appreciation of somebody's being. And you guys can do this with anybody. You guys can bring this to and sit with somebody and appreciate their being. So this might be an experiment for you, Douglas, uh, about, yeah, like find 5 people in the next week that you can appreciate, that you can say, I want to appreciate your being, and you take a time. You don't have to rush it or say anything if you don't know it. But when you get that impulse, you say, start speaking. So I appreciate the way that your hair flows down, and it creates this thing in you that creates a space of magic, that the space feels like magic. Mm.
I'd like to, I just throw in something. I'd like to make my experiment that I do sort of that with my wife, because we're both sort of shifting right now to this idea that our only
Well,
job
so well,
is to.
right now we're like in a tight space of like holding space for Douglas.
Okay, I'm sorry. I
So
interrupted. I'm sorry.
just wanna like protect that space that okay, keep like where you're right now,
Well,
your resources are for Douglas. Will you bring your resources for Douglas? For right now, it's about
yeah,
creating an experiment for him.
and I apologize for jumping in.
You're forgiven.
Yeah. Okay.
Will you will you give Douglas some experiments? Yeah.
Um, well, I guess the thing that I would say, listening to this, is try to make this distinction of how the how you're experiencing uh, the world differently when you pay attention to it in this different way of, I don't know, how can I say it? I don't know what I want to say as far as I don't I don't necessarily think that there's a dichotomy of some sort, but rather just a general, since we're talking about opening up, and we tend to separate ourselves from nature. I mean, the dictionary definition of nature in the Oxford Dictionary is everything in the world except for man. So we defined ourselves out of nature.
Mm.
That's one of the main things. So if I think the part of the experiment is, what is the actual sensation? What are the sensations of that change, rather than a cognitive, if you see what I mean?
So what I'm hearing is like to work on putting into words the sensations that I feel from just different aspects of nature.
Well, yeah, like if you're thinking of how am I mean, I think that's I'm kind of, I'm jealous of you in a way, because you're grounded and you have this sensation of being connected, and I'd say that that's something that I'm striving for. And so if I heard you say, for example, I felt the warm breath of the earth embrace me as I was walking through the forest, instead of saying it was kind of it was a little bit warmer than I expected on a chilly day, that would that would change it for me, because now I'm feeling like you have a sort of an intimate connection instead of a scientific analytical connection. If you see, if I'm trying to sort of amplify what you're saying without analyzing it.
I
It's
have
kind of hard.
that's
Does that make
great.
any
Great
sense?
experiment for you, Will. I
Does it
have
make any
a.
sense?
Did it make
Yeah,
sense to you, Douglas?
yeah, it did. I think the key word there was intimacy.
Mm.
Uh, yeah, because
Okay.
that's really what I feel with nature. The deep intimacy.
I have an
Well,
experiment for you,
those are
Douglas.
cool.
Okay.
Well, and I want to make sure that you're clear on Will's experiment.
Um,
What I hear him saying is something like like practice the verb the expressing something like storytelling, like you
mhm.
practice like story, like tell us a story about your connection with nature, something like that.
Yeah, I think I really kind of wanted the same thing that Douglas's experiment is, because it sounds really cool. And I thought about a little bit of the musical experiments that I'm doing, but I'd like to do it more.
Right on. So it sounds like you have
Uh,
two experiments now,
it's
Will.
just well, they'll sort of merge. They'll
All
sort of
right,
merge. So my
perfect.
wife, the experiment with my wife will be more intimate in that we can talk, get more depth into what I'm talking about. But she'll be in agreement
Perfect.
with it. So that
And will you share it with me or with us when you have it? When you have the experiments,
yeah,
like say like this is what we're gonna try. Awesome.
yeah.
There is a book, an audio book that I want to recommend for you, Douglas. I don't know, maybe you already heard it. Is Conversations with Grandfather from Tom Brown Jr. I think that's what it is. And it's an audio book. It's in YouTube,
Mhm.
and it's free to hear, and it's read by the author, and it's just amazing. It's
Wow.
unbelievable.
What was the name of the author?
Tom Brown Jr.
Tom Brown Jr.
I think so.
Thank you.
Yeah. Um, and I'll send the link if I have a chance, if I can remember.
Okay.
All right. It sounds like I'll see you back in the main room because we have 2 minutes left before the work talk closes. So I'll see you guys back there. Thank you.
You're
It
welcome.
was really
Cheers.
fun to be with you.
Yes.
Yeah, likewise.
Oosh. So Douglas, you're right now in the process of looking for a team, finding a team to bring into your project.
Yes. I I've been working on cleaning up um, the really dirty messes here and most obvious, as well as building soil. I think it'll be easier for others to come here when the big messes are gone. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Go.
Okay.
There.
Welcome back, everyone.
You.
We have about 1 minute before our agreed upon time. It's finished before the end of the work talk. And if you have to leave now, that works. Just leave. And I propose to, for those that want to stay for 5 more minutes, that we stay for 5 more minutes to kind of close it up. And I want to hear a few discoveries from what you discovered. Yeah, and I want to say thank you. Yeah, thank you for those who have to leave that
Yeah.
for coming here.
I just want to celebrate the diversity of spaces, the possibilities of what is possible when we meet together as a team or just one on one and create such uh, experiments of what we can try. I feel just such joy. It was in three different spaces, four different spaces with four different proposals, and they're all valuable and different and unique in their own way. And I love that. And I want to be exposed to more diversity of spaces. Thank you.
Yay.
Thank
Thank you.
you. Thank you. Anybody else wants to share how it was for them? Like anything that you got, what's the takeaway?
I appreciated coming into these spaces and not knowing most and feeling slightly guarded and I appreciate how fast that I felt comfortable being here.
Super.
Thank you, Douglas.
Thank you,
Thank
Douglas.
you, Doug.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can echo both of those things. I'm kind of amazed at how fast the ice broke, and I just, from coming from a place of thinking, why am I doing this? This, nobody's going to be interested in what I have to bring, and I'm not going to be interested in this because I have no goals left in my life. My bucket list has one item on it, you know. So anyway, that was pretty cool. So thank you all for doing this. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Will.
Thanks, Will.
You. I want to say that as as a woman here with the five of you, that it just makes my day. Like it's just so delicious to me to witness men asking these kinds of questions, orienting towards non-material value. Yes, sharing about feelings and things that maybe are a bit scary to share. I love it. It's been an honor to be with you.
Yeah. Thank you, Nicole, and thank you for thanks for bringing yourself in.
Yeah, thank you. I had a ball. I love, Ezekiel, what you just said about like the four different spaces. I hadn't even thought about that, but I can feel being with you, like my heart is much more open and connected. I can feel the it's like all we did here was talk and listen, pretty much. That's all that happened on the surface. And yet there's so much that happens through talking and listening that is invisible, but is it's food. Like it's a food, and I feel very uh glad to know you people are out there and to have been with you these last hours.
Likewise. Thank you.
I want to say this next part, and it's that there is a training that is happening in Vancouver, and next in May 30 to June 3rd, and it's a space called Expand the Box, and it's really a space of getting to this what we did here today, and even more. It's an immersive space where you get to be with people like this for 5 days, living together. So it's like sharing meals and cooking together, arranging uh, how things go, and getting to the edge, being seen, being appreciated, and also just like getting to crack the things about your box that keeps you stuck in one place, or that the things in your box that are committed to keep things going the same way without changing. So I'm gonna share about this. And I know Nicole has been a big part of organizing this event, along with Melissa and Laura, and also Devin is gonna be there as a space holder, as a space holder of the program. And there is some of you who are near that space, and also if you have people around you that who might want to be in a space like this, people who you care about, who are you are each working with, and who you want to be in a team with, this is a great space to come together. So I'll leave some more that information in the follow-up email.
No, thank
I would
you.
really like
Thank you,
for
Jorge.
yes,
Jorge,
yes,
thanks
thank
everybody.
you.
Thank
All
you.
righty. Well, thank you, everyone.
You all.
Yeah,
Bye for now.
Bye.
I'll see you next
Bye.
time. Take care.